Okay, so I'll do this map talk from red POV. First things first, we're going to talk about the initial mid-fight. There are 3 ways to do this mid-fight. I'll go through them, starting with the most common and probably like the most well-rounded one, and like get to the other ones afterwards. So the most common one, something that's actually like common for all of these, is your sniper most of the time rolls out through main, and you can play like around here but far back, peeking at this corner, and have someone open shot for him. Normally this is your spy, so spy can just either hang around here cloaked and keep it open for a bit, or just open it for a couple of seconds and then go out. And then that gives your sniper enough time to get a peek, and then rotate as well, because if he hangs around here for too long, he's going to become just a bit useless, really, because really the sniper peek through shutter is to get people as they're rotating. Once they've already rotated, so once they've already rotated to the left side or up to bats, like if they go, or under bats, if they go from shutter to under bats, they're not going to peek the sniper again. So like after you have your initial peek, or maybe like a re-peek, then you can rotate to wherever your combo is. So this map's really, really, really easy for the flank to get behind you. So if you're a sniper just by yourself, you're going to get farmed like on repeat. You're going to die constantly to the spy just decloaking on you, and the flank just get behind you, soldier bombing you. So it's important that on this map, as with most COF maps, you're just like physically inside your combo, like right inside them. Okay, so the rest of the team, your scout and soldier are going to play on your left side here. You're just going to try to have some control of your roof here. So since we're red, this will be your roof, and this is enemy roof. This was coloured red, this was coloured blue. So you just want to just chill here. Like scout up here is decently powerful, so you can like skirmish players who get. If players are too close on their bats, you can do like decent like 50 damage, 60 damage shots into them, and it's pretty like relatively safe for you. You're not going to be overhealed, so that's the main thing. And like it's possible for you to get juggled or bombed by the soldier, but if you get bombed, then you just back off. You can, I mean, I fucked it up then, but you can even like jump up onto here, and it's really hard for the soldier to hit you. He has to like actually hit your model, because if you land here, like he has to either shoot here if you're on the edge or shoot far back. I'm not explaining it very well, but like this is a good like position for my scout movement is great, but like you'd see like decent scouts like play around there defensively if they get bombed, and then your soldier who'll be playing with you, he'll just like counter bomb their soldier, and then their soldier will be forced off. So you're just basically trying to keep as much control of this roof as possible, because if you give up this roof, then their soldier will just like bomb over into your lobby, and the scout will just like just like run over here as well, and just get inside your flank, your lobby. It's what I was talking about when it's ridiculously easy for the enemy flank to get behind you. So your flank to begin with, you're just going to be focused on that. So yeah, that's your flank, your sniper, your spy. Your NG is just going to be do your usual stuff like setting up your buildings. Most popular telly spots are like here in the corner or in this corner. So you want to start off with your telly because it's pretty big, just to like, it effectively cuts your respawn timers. So especially for your slower classes, like your heavy, it really helps them out a lot. And for the combo, you will be rotating from spawn all the way right side here like this. So your heavy will just like chill. You want to avoid the sidelines to begin with, so especially your medic, just want to key in and just play like kind of safely, like healing up your players. And your heavy will be playing here, watching for bombers over blue roof, which might happen, and getting ready to contest the point where the demo calls it. So really, this is kind of dependent on how your demo wants to play it. Some demos want to go really aggro right at the start, and some others rather try to like bait the enemy in for a push and then go for a collapse on them. So if you want to play aggro at the start, it's the easiest thing to do. You're just sort of relying on your DM. Your medic, demo, and pyro will drop down and you'll fight here. Your heavy will stay on the high ground. This is actually doesn't take unnecessary amounts of spam, so your medic can just focus on beaming your demo and your pyro, keep them like relatively healthy at all times. If you bring the heavy in here as well, you're just going to be waiting. Like, even with the pyro air blasting, you can't, even in high dips, you can't expect him to air blast absolutely everything. So you're also going to be taking way too much damage, and you'll end up like being at a health disadvantage. So have your heavy up here, you can still do decent damage. You can drop in when the time's right. It also gives you the advantage if he's still denying bombers. If you will drop down, they might call it and then just send players over and then jump on your bats up above you. And if you're all down here, it's actually pretty hard to deal with the soldier up there just standing from the high ground. His heavy can't do much damage. Demo will have to turn around and start spamming, and once that happens, like assuming they're a bit coordinated, their enemy demo will just walk in and kill you guys. So that's basically what the second option is instead of dropping down right away, you guys actually play it a little bit slow and try to spam it out. This is really useful if they are mirroring you, so they're also on bats. If you just drop down and push, you'll be walking right into like huge sight lines. Like the moment you try, you're either going to be hugging this corner here, or you're going to be in a massive sight line there. So generally, what tends to happen is you'll try to get a call on where the enemy combo is. If they're mirroring you, then you want to take it a little bit slowly. But if they roll out to their left side, so they're like behind this roof, you actually have a really big advantage from this position, just because you can keep your heavy on the high ground here. This is way better than the high ground there, just because of your sight lines. You can get crossfires really easily from your flank here as well. Spam over here. So it's generally if the sniper's going to be at the combo most of the time. So if he's behind this roof here, then you guys can play a bit more aggro and try to contest the point. Again, important not to feed too much. Like stay within your range of your heavy so they can support you. Don't overextend. But yeah, you want to try to be putting as much pressure on this corner as possible. So it's like putting your sticks here, and you don't have to worry too much about up there, because if a demo goes up there, he's pretty easily juggled. Honestly, like he can only dodge in one dimension, like this left and right. So you just stick even more behind some of these thugs. So demos will never play up here, really. If you play up here against the enemy demo, you're kind of trolling, because you can't really win that fight. You're too cut off. You're automatically cut off the moment you go up here. So focus on the low ground here. This is the most powerful spot. This is where the demo will be contesting you from. It's where the heavy will be peeking you from. If you get them weak, then they can't peek you, so you have the point to begin with, and you get more space for your team. The usual COD stuff. If you get good damage in, you can call it for your soldier, and assuming that you're just chilling here, or maybe contesting their flank, you can afford to have your soldier go for a bomb, even if it weakens your flank. So what will happen is if you guys bomb, enemy soldier will either counter bomb or they'll push your flank. If you push your flank, then your engine needs to help you basically. He should be finished. Usually he'll be finished with his building, so you can help out. And you have it's actually decent having a scout and engine defensively. You can actually deny a soldier pretty effectively. If he's bombing from bats and they're on right side, he's not going to be buffed. So it's just going to be 170 HP. That's Scout and Engie both shooting twice and he's dead. So yeah, that's basically what your Engie's job is as well, rotate and help the flank. We're definitely very much on the flank on this map. On some other maps like Product, on the Product Maptalk, I did say you want to be spy checking your sniper, and that is something you can do on this map, but your sniper should be perma in your combo, so you don't really need to worry about that. You're just playing a flank plus basically. And your mini can just be you can put it super safe, on bats far back, just to watch for flankers. You can even put it in the lobby here to watch main shutter and watch either here to watch main shutter, or put it far back here to watch roof if they come forward. It'll be in range if they land here, but not if they land at the back there, or forward on roof to watch the entirety of roof, but it's more easily spammed out. It's not really a huge engine up, honestly. It's not that much you can do. The other thing you can do, aside from those defensive spots, is an aggro spot, setting up under, just to try to deny this part of the map. You have a mini, here on the slope, is denying these health kits, and if you're just playing with a shotgun, it's pretty hard for a soldier to rush you or anything like that. And obviously, if they try to 2v1 you, can just back out. With the health kit there, you're reasonably kind of safe. But yeah, don't worry too much about engine stuff on this map. Just keeping your telly up to priority, honestly. Even the spends is not too important. Okay, so that's the right side to mid. To be honest, a lot of it comes down to preference, and it's kind of hard to get an advantage on this map. If both teams are being passive, it's really hard for a pick to happen or to get like huge damage in. I'm just like comparing this to Product, where even if one team's really safe in pocket, it's still really possible for them to take huge damage from the enemy demo, just like slamming pipes into pocket. So usually that's why one of the reasons why they like this map. Not a lot happens unless someone like actually makes a mistake. Like the status quo is not much is happening basically. So it's up to you guys to like decide when you want to try and push and how you want to do that. A lot of it's like these are map talks that to do with like overall strategy, like how you rotate and how you play it. But most of this map is just tactics, it's stuff that can't really be taught in the map talk, like how you'd actually play the fight on a micro level, like on an individual player level. Okay, so that's the right side. The other option is left side, which is slightly more aggressive. So exactly the same as before, but instead of your combo going bats and your flank going left side, your flank is going right side, and you guys just chilling here, like scout on these crates in this little like, corner edge up here. And same with your soldier, honestly, like you can go here if they're combo on bats, you can try to like fight their flank here, just like get a skirmish going on, but like again, you're just basically just trying to hold this area, trying to make sure that they just like, gets all up on your bats for free. And again, your combo, you have two ways. Again, you can most of the time if you're going this way, this is slightly more aggressive because you don't have this this is okay cover, but it actually slows down your push quite a bit because once you go out here, you're kind of caught in the open, if this makes sense, right? You're at the corner here, and there's nothing around. So once you actually, it's good to hide behind, but it's actually quite hard to push out of just because you catch more spam from the map here. So you have to like hug this, and this slows you down a bit more, and it's harder for you to back out as well. Like if you imagine you're heavy, like and you're caught here, you're pretty much dead. If you're a heavy and you get caught here, you can like just in a single jump like that, so like rev down, jump, and straight back. And especially if you get hit by splash projectiles, you can actually surf it really easily out. You can't do it when pushing this side. This is why this side is more defensive. You want to maybe hold this more than you want to push across it. And this side's better for more like aggro pushes. So normally if you're going left side, it's because you want to be a bit more aggro. So you just like try and hold W. Even with your heavy in front, your heavy leading the push is actually really good on this, especially if they're on bats. But if not, then if they're like over here, your heavy is not going to do a huge amount at this range. So you're just going to like stay a little bit further back, maybe even stay way further back and watch your bombers. Of course, depending on where the sniper is, and lead with your demo and pyro across the point. And your sniper will be playing. It's a good spot for sniper because there's unreally decloak spots only like way back here, and he's got quite a long way to walk to stab you. That's up there. Obviously, watch out for the decloak spots under here. This always gets a combo member like several times if you're playing around left side, so just watch out for under here. And obviously, the shot as well as decloak here and going for a stab here and one sitting here. So this is just more aggro if you want to take the initiative. If you're really fast, like if your heavy gets whipped and he's on brew and everything, you can get to like this place here by the time their combos shutter, and you can actually really effectively get a crossfire on them if you have your heavy here and your demo like slightly wider, just sticking this off, and your sniper either there or in shutter, just like hard scoping this. That can like screw them up if they try to go shutter. Or if they try to instantly drop down, like they try to instantly drop down from bats or instantly like push over from left side, you can be in position faster than they are, so you're at the advantage because they're pushing to you because you're already set up. Okay, other things to really strongest like thing about this side is having your heavy in this head glitch. Again, like I'm on scouts, so my camera is slower than heavy, but it's like a perfect head glitch here to shoot up on the players on bats here. You just have to worry about sniper hard scoping you, and not even spy, because again, there's not much for the spy to be click on. Like either way back here, where your combo is going to be, which isn't going to happen, or actually like decloak in front of you and then trying to just like go for this. But if you're fairly aware, then that's like he's going to die in like under a second if you just look at him while he's walking across. What else? Yeah, just watch out for bombs as well. If you're playing this, if you're hugging this left side, then the soldier might like even unbuffed is quite deadly. He might just go for like a pencil jump straight up in the air and then like get 2 rockets on your combo. Like either not so much bombing and landing here because he can get really quickly killed by the heavy if he's a bit further back. Which is like actually pencil jumping and like hitting the skybox and then like as he's coming down, put rockets on your red. That's probably the biggest threat to worry about if you're like playing around here for an extended period of time. So that's how you play the mid for those 2 positions, and the second one is like really, it's the simplest to explain, but it's probably actually the hardest to pull off. It's you just like overrush shatter like literally everyone, except maybe your soldier can like come out either left or right side, depending on where he prefers. And your scout goes to the other side as well, and everyone else just like rushes to shutter. And you actually like don't hard commit to a side. You just play like on the point as much as you can, and then depending on where you see the enemy combo, then you like try to play around that. So if you see sniper left side, then you want to like play back here, so you're on the sideline. If you see him go right side, like biggest combo, then you want to play like a bit further back here. And as I was talking about before, just like denying the low ground here. So it's not so much its own like strat, but it's rather like an opening, and then you can use that to transition to either playing more on the left or more on the right, depending on what you see going on. You have to be quick though, and if the enemy thinks you might do it, it's always risky sending your med through shutter, but it has to be done. Just because you can't send your medic by yourself left side, just in case your demo decides you have to play right side. Because the sniper went right side, then your med's cut with a sideline between him and your demo, and it's not done. So that's why it's like an unavoidable risk to send your medic shutter. But if the enemy team's slow and if they don't expect it, then it can definitely work. It's up to your demo though to quickly decide. The longer you hang out in here, the more time you have to be caught out. So ideally, this phase where you're fighting main only lasts for a couple of seconds, like 2-3 seconds, and then your demo says, okay, play left or play right. Make a nice clear call so like everyone knows exactly where they have to go. Yeah, that's pretty much it to begin with. I will say, is like keep an open, like keep the under point like in the back of your mind, just so something retarded doesn't like catch you guys off like a heavy randomly fighting here. If your bat is like moderately deadly, if he catches you by surprise. Yeah, kind of like I don't think. Yeah, we haven't done Cascade, but like, it's kind of like Undone Cascade. Like it's not worth. It's a weak position to play in, but if you catch the enemy by surprise, like, you can always get a few kills. So as long as you're aware about it, it's really weak. But the second you forget about it, this actually becomes a pretty deadly part of the map. Okay, so that's how you want to like open the fight. I'll talk briefly about holding. So let's assume that you've won your mid fight. You can hold either on right side or left side. Left side passive is when say you've got Uber ad, you're expecting bombs, or alternatively if they have ad and you're expecting them to push in with ad. So you just have your heavy like here watching for bombs and spies from behind. Your demos are playing a little bit more forward here. Your pyros spy checking here and here where your heavy can't, and those are just like trying to basically you're not doing too much as pyro because you're just staying alive in case they come into you, they push into you. So if they have ad, even if they have like 50 ads, if you just sacrifice your life, like you just die, then you can bust them back far enough. That gives your mate enough time to back out. And then you'll be the ones with like 50, 60 ads, or however much ad, like 70 ad even. That's your job basically. And again, if they send like 4-player sack wave, then you're just full HP to air blast and deny the bombs as much as you can. If you take unnecessary spam and you're like 100 HP, you're not going to get neither you back, you're just going to die when they bomb you as well. So, and your medic, Lots of meds like to play this corner here. There's kind of a death trap. The safest option is to play way back here and just have your players come to you for buffs. So mainly your demo, like he stays here for like 10 seconds till he gets to like, until either his buff goes away or he takes too much damage and he just like drops back here. You can get healed from like here. And you can actually still put, you can like put spam on bats if they're bats, or put spam right on the point while he's getting healed here, and he just goes forward again. It's like slightly, it's not as strong as just having your demo perma beamed, but your medic is so much safer back here. You don't have to worry about spies, literally anything is spy. You can just like forget the sniper exists. If they bomb, you have huge warning. You can see them like as they come here, and you can just like instantly start backing away, and then they have no hope for killing you, basically. Like, so I'd recommend that if you're in a situation where you think, okay, you've got 50 ads, they're going to try and bomb for our med while they get the next spawn wave in. So you have your med play back here. It's like their players, they all die, your med still has Uber, and then you're on equal Ubers, like your med didn't die, and you can just like go into trade, like contest the point with Uber, way back and force it, and then have Uber descent, obviously. Okay, and yeah, the more aggro hold, which is really good if you can, if you have the chance to, is you have your heavy on the head, which I was talking about earlier. Your demo is playing slightly wide here. Between you and the heavy, you can actually really effectively deny both bats and shutter. You just have like 3 or 4 stickies here and some on bats there, and if they peek like either one of these, you can just dead on them and kill them basically, and you'll just like spamming pipes as well, fire back on bats. This is mainly countered by enemy team going right side. So the more your sniper's with you, your sniper's just getting buffed. He's playing like back here, or even like directly behind your heavy, like here, depending on how he wants to like try to deny this. So again, you can't shoot all the way far back there unless he's like playing, unless your sniper's playing like way back here. So it's up to where your sniper is. Again, if he's far back, he's more weak to spies. So it's kind of like a balancing act between how safe you want the sniper to be and how high you want to deny the right side. Because if they get like set up on the right side, then your heavy has to back out here. He can't do anything. This only denies this side of the map and shutter it as a little bit as well. It's completely useless if they will be right side. And if they're smart, they will try and go right side. That's the thing. Like they will recognize that this is really hard to break, so they should try to send players right side. And yeah, your pirates just by checking out the usual shit. And your flank rule, again, like usual COD stuff. Like, I'm not talking too much about the flank because we're kind of playing a very little mini game where you're just like contesting the enemy flank and trying to stop them. Your objective as the flank mainly is to try to stop them from getting behind you for free and just like wreaking havoc, like destroying your telly, killing your sniper, spamming your combo. So your primary objective is stopping that from happening. If they do something silly, like if they just feed into you or if they bomb, then you can do that to them. Instead, you can like get behind them for a bit and like do the shit I was just talking about, like just harassing from behind. It's super easy to get behind them, and again, super easy to get out as well, back to relative safety, because this map is extremely small. Like you just jump over this roof and you're in the enemy side. It's way smaller and tighter than Product, where you think about Product to get behind, you'd have to do like a really high jump over like Pride Rock and land on enemy cliff, or walk through Connector, which is a really tight, cramped area where it's easy for you to get denied by a single soldier or a single demo or something like that. So that's one of the like main features of this map is flank can have a lot of impact if they're way stronger than the enemy flank. If you just take a 2v2 and win consistently, like you just have better DM, then you can always get behind them, at least before they spawn, or they rotate, like they rotate the power and the energy to help out. You can just like do shit, and that has a really big effect, even if you don't get any kills, because it's causing their combo to just like turn around and watch out for you. So it just becomes an unfair fight for them, basically. Yeah, so that's the left side hold. And again, right side hold is just the same as the start, like really simple, like heavy up there with a sniper, then a pyro, medic playing down here, and you definitely want to do like an energy or something just to watch under, because if you're all playing here with your backs here, if the enemy heavy is feeling funny, he might just sort of like run Tommy and then just go up here and it's gonna kill you. And if you're not watching this, you can't hear him coming with Tommy, so there's something to watch out for. And spy spots as well. There are more spy spots on this map. Like this corner here, if your demo is like going wide, he won't be spy checking much, he's just spamming constantly, so there's something to keep in mind of obviously here, which is just like this entire area in general. Around here, and then just walking here. And of course up here, here, and then just dropping down anywhere. So a bit more risky to have your mech here, honestly. And if you do get bombed, there's not so many obvious ways out. Like you kind of have to try and go out through here, but because like you can still quite easily get caught. Honestly, like it's not like left side that you just go around the corner. Like there's quite a way to run. You guys here, and obviously like I've had some medics who try to like go here because like you turn a corner, sure, but then you just cut off completely. Like you escape in the short term, but in the long term, you're just completely cut off. The soldier will just bomb up here instead. And like the scout will just run around here, and like he'll be fast enough so he'll be here by the time he gets up those stairs and just kill you. If you try to go the super long way, it's like go back here, and it'll be looking bloody. So if you do get caught out here, then just try to like run back here, even if it is kind of shit, because that's just how it is. So maybe not such a great place for medic, but this is useful if they have lots of sniper pressure. Like I don't know how quite consistent your sniper is, but everyone has bad days. And on this map, if your sniper's having a bad day, it sucks for your whole team. So don't pressure sniper too much, but it will happen even if you have a way better sniper. Sometimes he just like doesn't perform like as he would normally. So you just have to keep that in mind. So this is one of the places you play if you want to avoid the enemy sniper who's playing right side. You just play from here instead, and you don't have to worry about him too much. If he tries to peek like here or here, your demo like can actually stand him out, like always sticky to deny him from peeking out in the first place, and he'll be forced to play like far back in the corner there, just like watching your left side. And if you don't have important players here, this is fine. This is whatever. Okay, that's pretty much how you hold. To be honest, this map's kind of hard to do like a super hard hold on, except for like this. Like I have heavy here and play forward on the point. It's the strongest hold, but it does require a bit of coordination to pull off. What else? I guess the other thing left to talk about is actually pushing, how it goes about breaking those holds. So if they do the hold where they have heavy here and everything there, then the key here is just to try to set up as many crossfires as you can. Try to set up 3 separate crossfires. So have your demo, your combo sounds heavy, play on bats, just because you can like sure heavy's head glitching here, but you can actually decently spam him. Just decently spam him out with stickies, and like you can actually put okay damage on him. Sometimes you can even force him out if the medic isn't like. If the medic's further back and heavy's without healing, you might be able to force him out. If that's really good, you should instantly drop down and just like completely deny these spots here. Like drop down here just so you can stop the enemy from walking towards you here. If you don't manage to do it, that's okay. Like they have the heals forward, the heals like here. Assuming that they're like fully set up here, you have pressure your demo from up there. Your heavy goes shutter, and you coordinate with your demo to walk like when you want to peek. So your demo starts peeking now, and your heavy peaks as well, like this. Or from this as well, like either one's fine, depending on sniper. This avoids the sniper sideline, like some of the sidelines from here. This is more open, but you avoid some of the sidelines from there. So again, like it gets more aggro. Like the heavy instantly turns on you, you put it in a knife place, but you have a bit more time for your demo to help you if you're playing wide here. So yeah, first target's the heavy close here. Then you just want to try and take as much space you can. Try like the demo is probably going to be. He's going to have enough time to back off. So just like what a nice space for him. Basically, just like stick the ground off, like take space, and and then just like try to gradually. Once the heavy's down, like you can then send your heavy to walk across left side here and get another crossfire on, and your demo walk from here. So this map's all about crossfires, like. To be honest, this entire game is all about crossfires. Your heavy and your demo, in most situations, want to be creating a crossfire between the two of them. And you just want to be talking. You're communicating your priority targets, so you're both damaging the same person at the same time. And the third crossfire can come from your soldier, just like spamming 30 damage rockets like this on the heavy, or playing up on the roof and just like spamming like into the demo here or far back on the combo there, or just doing whatever. Even gunspy as well. Like spy can decloak here with revolver and just shoot the heavy for like 30 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage. Like it does add up, especially if he's not getting healed. So it's definitely not. It's really strong against players from here, but as soon as you get multiple people shooting at the heavy, he's either going to die or he's going to force to be backed out. Like that's how you get rid of the heavy there. Yeah. So once that's done, then it's just a matter of like forcing them back in here. Once they're like cornered in here, they're either going to trade, and they're going to be far back, and you're already going to be on the point. So there should be better positions for you, or they're just going to back off completely. Maybe they don't have Uber, they're just going to back off. Or they lost so many players that they can't even trade, so they just back off with everywhere. And yeah, if that happens, watch out for bombs, trying to force them out. And the other hold, like if they're holding on more bats, then they're playing like more bats here, then you actually want to set up that hold I was talking about, where you just have your head, you just like try to walk forward here, play with your willy out on this map, just like hug this wall all the way here. It doesn't matter too much if you die, if you take lots of focus and like tank for a while. If your demo can then like use that to like go right here, put lots of especially if they're up on the high ground. I'll talk about it here on this side. You can just put sticks on, like actually aim for the wall here, and then that's like unavoidable damage from basically. So it's kind of bad if they're all up there, or equally as bad if they're on the low ground here. You can catch them up pretty easily. You can put sticks behind them here, and then they're trapped here. They don't really have anywhere to escape, like maybe here, but then they're useless. They're stuck in here. They don't have any point pressure. So like it's kind of a lose-lose they're playing here, honestly. That's why this is probably the weaker. Lots of teams prefer it, and it is strong, but in my opinion, it's slightly weaker than playing on the left side. From Blue's POV, playing the left side is stronger than playing right POV. From like some people call this slope or hill, and bats, but normally I'm used to saying left or right, depending on if we're red or blue. Miss anything in particular? Is there anything that I think I've covered just about everything? Those are the main ways people are going to be holding. Like, I guess, yeah. If they're not doing the aggro hold, if they're doing a passive hold like way back here, then it's kind of the same as if you've got the heavy pick, where you just want to like try to create a crossfire. Even if the sniper's there, your heavy just has to like, you have to push them at the same time. It's like, don't be afraid if the sniper gets one pick or whatever. If you're walking across the left side while your demo is walking across like more sort of main, and your sniper peaks at the same time, then like you should be able to at least get more of the map. Maybe not kills, but you'll be able to force them way back here. Again, just like make sure your sniper's like peeking at the same time your combo is. Because if your combo gets baited and your sniper's not peeking, then like the sniper's gonna peek after your combo is already dead, and then your sniper's gonna die to the SBS. Like because he doesn't have the combo making pressure again. As I didn't mention, like especially in the lower divs, a lot of players expect the sniper. They just like kind of sit back and just be like, "Okay, snipers, just take the SBS, just kill the enemy sniper for us, so we can walk forward." But that's not really how it works, at least consistently. It'll work if you've got like a mid sniper against open snipers, whatever. But like, if you want to consistently have your sniper win, you need to pressure at this exact same time when your sniper's peeking. You need to pressure so your sniper can peek, basically. Otherwise, you're just asking the sniper to just go in when nothing's happening, and your enemy sniper's just going to be focused on your sniper. If he goes in while your combo's pushing, he's going to be worried about the demo spamming him. He's going to be worried about being bombed, maybe. He's going to be worried about the spy declicking on him, and he's just going to be worried about the just like not being cut off in general as well. Like if he's here and then starts walking, he might actually start like not even go for the shot, or maybe like go for one quick shot and then quickly start moving back, so he doesn't get sticked off. If he stays too long there, he's going to get sticked off and probably just killed straight up. So That's why your proposal was with the sniper. This applies to every map, by the way, every single map. Like steel, visual, Proplant product. Okay, that's like 30-minute map talk, I guess, a bit longer than I was expecting. Is there anything I missed, just quickly? I don't think so, but maybe I forgot one aspect of one of these holds or something. Does anyone have any questions? Is everyone like, does that make sense, basically?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll assume that is yes. So, yeah. It wasn't so boring I killed everyone, was it?
No, it was fine. Thanks for the matter.
No problem.
And I'm gonna go serious.
Well, hope you guys found it useful. Yeah, good luck with your scrims and stuff.